Today's severe weather risk is focused on eastern Minnesota into western Wisconsin, up over Lake Superior, though severe weather over Lake Superior is almost always unlikely. With the cold lake there, of course. We've got an upper level low in Canada diving south into the upper Midwest in the Great Lakes area, and that is also associated with a surface low and a cold front that is pretty potent, and that's going to be the focus for storm development late this afternoon into the evening hours and overnight as it tracks east. Pretty tight pressure gradient. You can see those isobars, those yellow lines bunched together. That means windy all around that low from the southwest ahead of it, pumping in warmer, humid air, but also on the northwest side of it, bringing in some of that cooler air. And you can see some smoke, a lot of wildfire smoke behind this front coming out of Canada associated with that front as well. So if you put the streamlines on here, you can see the wind directions. You can see where that front is. The upper levels, mid-level atmosphere here, you can see where we've got that short wave or upper level trough. That'll be the focus for some forcing upwards in the middle of the atmosphere. And then the dew points are starting to pool ahead of that front too. We do have pretty wide area of 60-degree plus dew points. So not real soupy, but you don't always have to have 70-degree plus dew points, but it does help to limit the potential for tornado kind of day today with the lack of real deep moisture levels. So the day one outlook, again, that's through eastern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, up through Duluth, and into western Wisconsin. Again, there's a low risk of tornadoes. It's over that same area, but the main threat today is going to come in the form of some damaging wind gusts, some downburst winds, and also the potential for some large hail. All of that kind of confined here to the east central and northeastern part of the state. But there are differences in the models. This is the NAM versus the HRRR, two more short-term rapid update models, and you can see that when we look at 9 p.m. development, storms on the NAM do fire kind of on top of the Twin Cities in southeastern Minnesota, but take longer to develop in the HRR model. And the reason for that is because of differences in both cap strength, which is on the left between the models. Warmer temperatures aloft means it's harder for storms to break through. And the NAM model also has a larger area of higher dew points. So to create instability, you need both moisture, warmer temperatures, and cooler temperatures aloft. So that's why the NAM is more aggressive with development early on. So the timing and development are all going to depend upon how much moisture there is. But we do have a good mid-level jet streak, some pretty high winds along with a punch of very dry air with that jet streak. So these are the optimal ingredients to help create some of those downburst winds pushing into the back of that line of storms that will develop along the cool front. So forecast wind gusts don't look particularly impressive on either of our shorter term models, but that threat is there because we do have those high winds aloft and that dry air. So any storm that does get going could easily produce some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And then the threat moves south-southeast over the next couple of days, but a marginal threat for Michigan, Indiana, Ohio tomorrow, and continued marginal threat as that whole complex, that whole system moves east into New England here on Friday. So that's what we're looking at here. The main threat really over the next few days is focused on Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin.